Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about the electromagnetic induction. Uh, Initially we have discussed about the Oersted discovered that electric current produce magnetic field. Michael Faraday immediately began to look for a reverse effect. He suggested that it should be possible to produce electric current in a circuit from a magnetic field. So on the basis of number of experiment, he actually demonstrated that an EMF, electromotive force, is produced in the circuit when the number of magnetic field lines passing through the circuit changes. So if circuit is closed, a current flows through it which is called induced current. Now we have the question here, what is electromagnetic induction, or define electromagnetic induction? The phenomena, which phenomena? Production of induced current in a closed circuit due to change in magnetic field link with it is called electromagnetic induction. Suppose we are having a magnet here and this is a closed circuit, or we can say it is a coil we are having. So the magnetic field lines, suppose north and south, so magnetic field lines will go like this, it will go like this. So if we move this magnet, if we move this, suppose north and south, so they will complete the circuit like this. If we move this magnet towards or away from the coil, then what will happen? Suppose it is away from the coil, we are taking it away from the coil, this is the north and south again, so the magnetic field lines will reduce. So this is called the flux. The magnetic field lines will reduce them. So this is given that an EMF is produced in the circuit whenever the number of magnetic lines, the number of the magnetic line passing through the circuit changes by taking the magnet towards the coil or taking away from the coil. So this is the phenomena of induced current in a closed circuit due to change in magnetic field linked with it. It is called electromagnetic induction. Now, how Faraday verify the experiment? So next question is there, verification of the Faraday's experiment. What we are required? We are required a coil and a galvanometer and a magnet. There is a coil, galvanometer and a magnet. These three things we are required. Now what is a galvanometer? Galvanometer actually shows the minimum current also. It is just like a meter, but it shows a minimum current also and the direction also. This is the difference between the galvanometer and the ammeter, that galvanometer shows the direction and magnitude of the current, but ammeter shows only the magnitude of the current. So this is the difference between the galvanometer and the ammeter. Now the experiment is like this. The apparatus consists of a coil AB. This is a coil AB we have taken of insulated copper wire having large number of turns. So two ends are connected to the galvanometer. Here what we have? We are having here the magnet. Suppose if we are moving the magnet, this one is a magnet. If we are moving the magnet towards the coil, then what will happen? The current will induced in the coil also, and due to that the galvanometer deflects one side. Second, if the magnet is stationary, means there is no movement, there will be no deflection in the galvanometer. Now, the needle of the galvanometer remains at the center position when there is no current, but when there is current it deflects either right side or the left side. Now the magnet, suppose we are moving away from the coil, then again the current will induce in the coil and the galvanometer will move opposite to the previous direction. In this we are moving the magnet towards the coil, here we are moving taking the magnet away from the coil, the direction of the galvanometer will change. This we will explain with the help of Lenge's law. Now see what is the conclusion of the galvanometer, this experiment. Galvanometer shows a deflection when there is a relative motion between the coil and the magnet. This is the requisite condition. There should be a relative motion between the magnet and the coil. Second, the deflection of the galvanometer indicates that current flowing through the coil. This is the conclusion of the Faraday's law. Now, how the strength of induced current in a coil can be increased. The strength of induced current can be increased by increasing the number of turns of the coil. Secondly, we can increase the strength of the magnet. So the current will also increase, or increasing the relative motion between the coil and the magnet. So these three things we have mentioned here. Strength of induced current can be increased by increasing the number of turns in a coil, increasing the strength of the magnet, increasing the relative motion between the coil and the magnet. Now the next, what is the explanation of this phenomena that we have done here? So what is the explanation? When a magnet placed near a coil, here is a coil, the magnet is placed near a coil, a definite number of magnetic lines pass through the coil, that we have discussed here. A definite number of magnetic coil will pass through the coil. Magnetic field lines pass through the coil. When the north pole of the magnet is moved towards the coil, the magnetic flux increases. So it is the north pole, so the magnetic field line move from north towards south, so they will increase. If we move it towards the coil, then what will happen? The magnetic field will also be increase. The magnetic flux also increases. It includes potential difference across the ends of the coil. What it produces? It produces a potential difference at the ends of the coil. So therefore current is induced and deflection is seen in the galvanometer. So but it lasts only so long as the magnetic flux changes. If you will not change the magnetic flux, means the magnet or the coil both are stationary, then there will be no deflection, no potential difference will produce across the ends of the coil, no current will flow from the coil. So this will last only till the magnetic flux changes. Here the magnetic field can be changed by two ways. First is the relative motion between the coil and the magnet that we have done, and the next is there by winding two coils near each other on a cylinder, that we call the mutual induction. This is a primary coil, this is a secondary coil. Here is that if we give a current here to the coil, then what will happen? It will behave like a magnet. So this is the condition like this. If this is, so it will, the magnetic field is produced like this, and they will be produced here also in this one. So here the magnetic flux will change. If magnetic flux is changed here, then what will happen? The current starts flowing and the galvanometer deflects one side. So here is a definition. What is the mutual induction? The phenomena by which an opposing EMF is produced in a coil as a result of change in current or magnetic flux linked with a neighboring coil is called mutual induction. So this is what the mutual induction is there. Now we have to discuss about the direction here. We have find here in the coil, we will find here the Lenge's law. With the help of Lenge's law, we can find the direction of the current in the coil. What is this Lenge's law? According to this, the direction of induced current in a closed circuit is always such as to oppose the cause that produces it. So suppose it always produces the cause that produces it. Here is magnet we have taken, and suppose here is a coil. Suppose like this we have taken the coil. So when north pole of the magnet is moved towards the coil, the direction of induced current in the coil is such as to oppose the motion of the north pole towards the coil. So for this, the nearer face of the coil acts as a north pole. So this behaves like a north pole, like this. This behaves like a north pole because similar poles will repel each other. So you know that the current will flow in the anti-clockwise direction. So here we have taken this one, this is north. So here north, we are bringing the magnet towards the coil. Then what will happen? Here the north pole will produce, because the current which is produced here it opposes. तो ये क्या करेगा, दोनों को रिपेल करेगा पोल्स को. तो नॉर्थ पोल होने से यहाँ भी नॉर्थ पोल प्रोड्यूस होगा. So what does it mean? If north pole is produced, then the current will go in the anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. So the galvanometer the needle of the galvanometer tilts right side. Here there will be no deflection because there is no movement. But now here, if we taken away the magnet, then what will happen? Here, suppose this is a coil, so it will taken away. तो current is produced, so it will repel. वो उसको दूर जा रहा है तो उसको पास लाने की कोशिश करेगा. तो here the south pole will appear on this face of the coil. So that you know that current will go in clockwise direction. This is the Lenge's law, clockwise direction. So here the experiment we have in this north pole and south pole. North we are taking away from the pole. So this coil will have here the south end. This is the south end. So here the current will go in clockwise direction. This is clockwise direction. So the galvanometer deflects towards right. So here is the direction of the current is this one, opposes, and here is the direction of the current is this one, opposes. So this was the Lenge's law. The direction of induced current in a closed circuit is always such as to oppose the cause that produces it. So here is a movement towards, the current is flowing up outwards. Here the current magnet, the movement of magnet is outside, so current is going other side. So the galvanometer deflects in opposite directions to each other. So this is the Lenge's law. Now here we have one more rule we are having. Direction of induced current in the coil that we can find with the help of Lenge's law. But the direction of induced current in a conductor, how can we find this? With the help of the Fleming's right hand rule. If the first finger, central finger and the thumb of our right hand are stretched perpendicular to each other, this is the first finger, central finger and the thumb is stretched such that perpendicular to each other, then the first figure indicates the magnetic field, the thumb indicates the direction of motion, and the center finger shows the direction of the current. So if we are taking here, this one we are having here, this is a north to south, this is a magnet. Here we have put a conductor in the form of a singular coil. So where the current will flow, in which direction the current will flow. So this is the magnetic field. Here suppose this is coming upward, this is coming upward or downward, we can take. So this is the north to south, so our finger will be like this. And here suppose we are moving it down, so we are moving it down, so first finger and thumb is showing here in the downward direction. So what will be the direction of the current? So here what will be the direction of the current that we have? We can show it with the help of right hand rule. So here it is direction of the magnetic field, it will go down here like this. This is the magnetic field and we just take it in downward direction. So what is the direction of the current? This is, if we take it this side downward, here this is downward direction, the thumb, this is showing the magnetic field. So what is the direction of the current? Is like this. The direction of current is like this. And if this one, we are taking it up, the magnetic field is same like this, but we are just like, here is the north to south and the force we are applying here. So this is the magnetic field, thumb is showing upward direction. So this part, this side of the coil will come up. Then what is the direction of the magnetic field? The direction of the current is this one, in upward direction. So this is the rule to find the direction of induced current in the conductor. Thank you so much.